All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. The honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. And salutations to the hopeful elect brothers out there pushing this truth with all diligence and sincerity, risking their freedoms, risking your freedoms and your lives to do so. All right. Coming to you with another lesson. J.D. Vance warns that UFOs could be demons flying around Earth, vows to get to the bottom of it. All right. And, you know, at a certain point, he actually is right because, the left and the right hand angels, they do have, though they ride in these so-called UFOs as well, man. They have chariots as well. But this is just Esau trying to demonize and control the narrative and to strike fear in people to be more patriotic. That's one of the reasons why people do use fear. Like the army of the dead in Game of Thrones, man, that made everybody band together and put aside their differences. So, that's one of the reasons why he does what he does, with false flags and fear tactics, is to get people to be on his side, to make them forget about whatever issues they had with him and to just side with him and worry about shit later on. And with him, oh, it's still ongoing. We're still the team. There's no later on. There's no peace yet, but there's peace. But keep on, let's just, all the little tactics that this man uses is just to formulate his narrative for him to be the one that's in control and calling shots. In which, the angels, the demons, these things exist, but how he plays with things, he does hoaxes. All right, he got these different projects to where he can create images of things that aren't actually true via AI, hologram, etc. All right, but sooner or later, this guy, he's not going to be able to cry wolf anymore. All right, he's not going to be able to cry wolf. Sooner or later, the Most High is going to come for his ass. Yeah, this is Isaiah 31:5. As birds flying, so will the Lord Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it. And we're coming into the Passover right now, man. All right, and best believe those chariots are gonna be out working the work. The angels are gonna be out working the work, man. All right, they're playing on the minds of these people. All right, demons and right hand angels, man. Because it's all according to the will of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. That's why, when someone asks us, oh, is the Lord all love? Is he all good? Well, in righteousness, yeah, for a full, the full story, and his ways of following the path that he set out for us, that's good, that's right. But the Most High uses the left and the right hand side for his will to be done. All right. It's funny. I was telling the brother, like, we were talking about the book of well, not the book of Joseph, but in Genesis, where with the 12 patriarchs and how they sold Joseph into slavery. It was wicked what they were doing, but at the same time, it was a 360 circle. How the Lord set things up for that to be, for us to be okay in times of famine, and then after that, for us to serve 400 years in Egypt, according to prophecy spoken to our forefather Abraham. All right. It's just, that's how the Lord works, man. But this devil, he believes that he can strike fear and lies in the minds of people, but he's only going to deceive those who are meant to be deceived. Vice President J.D. Vance speculated that UFOs could actually be demons flying around Earth, contending that ancient civilizations believed they had encounters with such vile creatures. And that's true. They dealt with the demons. All right. I don't think they're aliens. I think they're demons anyway. But that's a long discussion. Vance told conservative podcaster Benny Johnson. I mean, every great world religion, including Christianity, the one I believe in, as understood, there are weird things out there, he later added. When I hear about an extra natural phenomenon, that's where I go to, the Christian understanding that there's a lot of good out there, but there's also evil out there. And which that's what I believe the Trump administration had said before a couple months back, that bringing out this information, when it was talking about Obama, bringing out this information could change people's beliefs and their views with Christianity and religion. Because the thing is that these religions don't have any answers outside their lies. They would have to make something up as they go. Like this dude, he in which they know that these things, what's in them. All right, that's why he said demons, but he was also trying to put a negative light on Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. All right. He was trying to speak a negative light on the truth. But even bringing that out, what do the scriptures say? This is 2 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 8. It says, for we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. All right? It's nothing that you can do that will ever come against the truth. Because like I said, left hand, right hand, the Lord controls both. All right? So, of course, if you're bringing out deceit, that person that you're deceiving was meant to be deceived. This is Isaiah chapter 66 and verse 4. I also will choose their delusions and bring their fears upon them. Because when I called, none did answer. And when I spake, they did not hear. But they did evil before mine eyes and chose that in which I delight not. Right, you're going to have Israelites speaking against their own salvation, talking about them demons. Y'all evil. Hey, well, that's the Lord who chose your delusion to go against your own salvation. All right? The Lord said when these things begin to come to pass, look up, for your salvation draweth nigh. All right? That's the reason why this man been spraying the hell out these skies, especially in certain areas where you get clear skies and clear nights, because he doesn't want you to see what's going on up there, man. Also, it's been talks of them blocking out the sun and penetrating the Van Allen belt with nukes and everything. Hey, this man he's just death. He's just destroying everything so that he can have his way. All right, like a child throwing a temper tantrum. All right. All right, I'm getting ready to end it off. This is Zechariah 5:1. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, what seest thou? I seest a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For every one that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and every one that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. I will bring it forth, saith the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai of hosts, the Lord of armies. And it shall enter into the house of the thief. The house of the thief is Esau Edom, man. His prized possession being America, the war machine, and the tiny tops, all right? The fatness of the earth this guy has. So really his kingdom, all right? That's why the chariots are flying over the earth, because, we're in the midst of this devil's kingdom, man. But they're primarily in places like America, man, all right? And most of those sightings that he can control, he'll either take them down or he'll manipulate them for his narrative. All right. Yeah, I remember what was her name? Jenna Maria Coven. She would always have the she actually said Shalom, so that means she knows she Jake and she been watching. But hey, time will tell on who's gonna be saved. If you got this truth, you just hold on to it. But she actually had posted I remember she posted this UFO video, so-called UFO of the chariots, years back, and you can see an angel had literally flew out. It was a being that had wings on his back, and it flew out of the chariot, and it was so quick. It was big too, because it was almost the size as the chariot. You know, just going to show you that what we say is true. But I'm gonna finish this up, and it says, and it will enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. And it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. Because guess what? When the Lord shoots those nukes off, these UFOs that are being demonized, they're also gonna have a part in destroying this place with heavenly fire, man. With their heavenly nuclear power, man. All right. So yeah, man, hey, the narrative's being twisted for this devil to stay in control and to use your fears and your emotions against you. But hey, the elect should not be deceived. All right. As a matter of fact. Lucky. This is Matthew 24:24. For there shall arise false Mashiachs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they should deceive the very elect. But guess what? These miracles that this man is gonna, his lying wonders, they're not gonna deceive the elect. But the Lord is saying, hey man, it's gonna be so crazy out here. It's gonna be so many illusions. It's gonna trick a lot of people, man. That's why the Lord said, when I come back, shall there be faith on the earth? Because the Lord is going to use this devil to pull out every trick and every lie that he can. But guess what? For the righteous, that's not going to prevail, man. All right? It says that the gates of hell shall not prevail against thee, man. So with that, I'm going to end this lesson off and give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Shalom, and Abba Ball.